Not only did he have a bad day, but he's dedicated to making sure I don't drive this thing home. So I was about 20, and I think I was down to one, maybe two cars at that time. The one car was a 92 two-tone Chevy S10, 2.8 liter V6, manual, two-wheel drive, short regular cab, short bed. Just I bought it for $300. It had 280,000 miles. I loved it. I was working at a place I was building bicycles for inside Walmart. It was a third-party company. So I'd go to a Walmart. I'd go in the back room where you couldn't see me, and I would assemble bicycles. Beater trucks can be one of the greatest things you can ever have. They're a blast. There was a couple towns down, there was a train track that was about this. Some engineer made a huge mistake making it this steep. And there was rumor going around that some guy in a Trans Am hit the thing too fast, because you can't see anything past the railroad tracks. Hit the thing too fast and then landed in the back of a pickup truck. So this should scare you from doing anything like that, but this was exciting for me. I just put new struts on my truck, and I'm like, it's got brand new suspension. So it felt pretty good. Me and my buddy went to that railroad tracks, and we ended up, to make a long story short, we ended up jumping it, going about 60 miles an hour. We got about 6 feet up on the ground, landed, bounced back up, and it's stupid stuff that you do when you're a kid. So I'm over here going to work. Let's go back to the regular story. I'm over here going to work. A couple days later, my exhaust fell off. It's a beater. It's an old crappy truck. The exhaust fell off. It's super loud. Sounds like an airplane. I'm title money. I didn't get a chance to fix it yet. I'm driving to work. It's about 2 p.m. I see flashing lights in my mirror, which is fine. I wasn't speeding, but I know why he's pulling me over. My car is very loud. The officer walks up, and I always try to pull over to a safe spot. Never pull over right in the middle of the road or side of the road. Just, take your time, pull over to a safe spot for you and the officer pulling you over. I do that. He comes up and he's like, why I pulled you over? I'm like, it's probably because my car is extremely loud. He's like, yes, I'm going to give you a ticket, get that thing fixed. So that's fine. I understand. He's doing his job. It was illegal, whatever. I got a ticket. I go to work. I'm leaving. I work till about 12 o'clock at night. I'm walking out, and I had to think about it then, but I see a police officer kind of like going around, like circling around like the parking lot. I'm like, that's kind of weird. I kind of wait a little bit before I actually leave, so he leaves. And I get in my car, fired up. Sounds like an airplane, and I start driving it home. Keeping the RPMs as low as I can, because it's late, it's dark, and things are quieter now. As soon as I get out of the parking lot and I actually touch the road, I see blue lights again. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, that's fine. I'll just show them the ticket. If anytime you get pulled over for an inspection, and you just show them the ticket, the past couple days, hey, I just got pulled over for inspection, I'm working on it. And, they normally let you go, it's fine. This guy was having a bad day. So I pull over. He's like, your car's way too loud. I'm like, I appreciate you pulling me over. Here's the ticket I just got. I got this on the way to work. He's like, I don't care. I'm giving you another ticket. This thing's way too loud. Park it. I'm like, what? He's like, you're parked. You're not moving this car. I'm like, it's 12 o'clock. It's midnight. It's summertime. It wasn't cold outside, but it was midnight. And I was like, can you give me a ride home? He's like, there's no way I'm giving you a ride home. It's not happening. Call somebody. So I'm thinking, all right, I'll wait it out. I'll sit here, and he'll drive away, and then I'll drive to my house. It's about 3 miles away. Well, that's not going to happen. He parks on the other side of the street in a parking lot facing me, making sure I don't drive the car home. So my phone is dead. Of course, my phone is dead. I walk back to the Walmart. Payphones still faintly existed at that point. I don't even know how I had money. Somehow I got the money to use the payphone. I only know one phone number. That's my dad's phone number. So I call my dad up. It's probably about 12:30 right now. He doesn't pick up. Later I find out that he heard the phone call. He called the number back, called the payphone back, and of course no one picked up. He actually thought it was me. I can't drive the car home. I come back about half an hour later. The cop's still waiting there. Not only did he have a bad day, but he's dedicated to making sure I don't drive this thing home. So I just start walking home. I walked the 3 miles home, and got home, and it's a fun story. Later the next day, I ended up, of course, I'm not gonna rent a tow truck or get a tow truck to tow the car home. That cop was not waiting right there. I took the risk. I jumped in the car and I drove it back. I ended up getting it fixed. I put a nice exhaust on it. I ended up towing that truck to Georgia with a motorcycle in the back, towing behind a motorhome that someone gave to me for free to go to college. The street we lived on was a permit parking street, so you needed to get a permit to park in front of my house. They only issued 2 permits per household. I had 3 cars myself. I have 5 siblings. One time I went to the municipal parking place and I said, I need to get more permits. You know, this is not going to work out for my family. And you know what she told me? She's like, move. So this was a time of my life. I'm not sure where I got this, but that I thought that if I didn't pay it, it would eventually go away. This is kind of like, you know, a little kid, like putting the blankets over your head and thinking that there's nothing out there now because I can't see you. This is exactly that type of situation. Not sure where I came up with this idea, but eventually it did come to me, and these couple $100 tickets and parking tickets and stuff ended up accumulating to about $6,000, and I ended up paying them when I was at risk of losing my driver's license. So pay your tickets as soon as you can. Don't forget that stuff. And you know what? Sometimes cops just have bad days. We all do.